Good morning. Welcome to Monday Morning Roar. Today is Monday, the 22nd of March. And the topic today is failing to succeed. Now, wait a minute. That's not really it. It's failing is essential to succeed. You know, without failure, we really can't experience any success. In fact, they say in order to succeed, you need to double your number of failures. And it's not just failing that makes a success, it's what you do when you fail. Sometimes it's easy to just overlook a failure and say, oops, that didn't really happen, or I'm embarrassed, I don't want anybody to know about it, kind of sweep it under the rug. But that's the worst thing you can do with a failure. Because once you've swept it under the rug, you've told yourself that it's no longer a failure, that it's just a part, just another step, and it doesn't really mean anything, and you don't really learn anything from it. We all fail every day, and we have to give ourselves the opportunity to fail. We can't have a fear of failure. Fear of failure is a terrible thing to have. If you have a fear of failure, you're failing. That's a failure itself. Because if you can't fail, you'll never succeed. You have to fail and learn what to do about it. I was watching a basketball game the other day, and the team was getting blown out. They were down by 40 points in the fourth quarter. And the announcer said something like, well, this would be a good game to just burn the tapes from, so we don't have to look at it. And I thought, well, that's really just the opposite. That's probably the best learning experience they could get, because they've got more examples of what they did wrong to learn from, and maybe what the other team did right to learn from. That's how we have to look at these things. We can't just brush them under. We can't say they don't exist. I know people don't want to admit failure because somebody will always come and say, well, I told you so, or well, you shouldn't have done that, or I'll second guess you, and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? If you don't fail, you're never going to know what real success is. You've got to learn to overcome those failures, admit them, and make the plans and steps to get back to success. You have to review it, know what you're doing. I remember when I was a young child, well, not real young, maybe a young teenager. I had a good friend who had a paper route, and he did real good on his paper route. In fact, he did so good on his paper route that he won a trip to Disneyland in California from Michigan. And I thought, wow, he must have sold a lot of papers, because that's got to be an expensive trip. And he did sell a lot of papers. He won the contest. So I went to my parents. I said, hey, I want a paper route because I want to go to Disneyland. And they said, no, your brother had a paper route, and he didn't do very well with it. We always had to keep helping him. It was kind of a failure. So we're going to keep you, we don't want you to go through that. So you can't have a paper route. And I keep thinking about that. What I could have learned if I'd had a paper route, even if I'd have failed. Not all the time do you need somebody to mitigate damages before they're made. And I think that's what sometimes parents like to do, and friends like to do. They like to tell you, oh, that's not such a good thing to do, and they'll mitigate the damages for you. But you're never going to learn unless you really experience it. I wish I would have had that paper route. Maybe I'd have been a different person. But I don't regret that the rest of my life. I think I did all right. But it's things like that. As we go through life, we have to fail in order to succeed. And without failure, we'll never know success. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you next week.